All right, brothers and sisters, we are back. We are back. All right, we just wanted to come on real quick, and we're going to start doing this every week before we go live on our program, the Money Game Show, on Closing the Gap Broadcast Network on YouTube. So every week prior to next week's show, we're going to come on and just talk about it, give you a preview. So you can go ahead and mark your calendars, and subscribe to the channel on YouTube, hit your notifications so when we go live, you won't miss any episode. Man, the Money Game show is going to be epic. I'm telling you, it's going to be exciting. We're going to be a lot of different aspects of it. We're going to have a live call in. We're going to talk about money, of course, the money game, so Black people can win and dominate from every angle possible. It's more than just getting the bag, brothers and sisters. And this week, this second episode, but our first guest will be my dear sister, our dear sister. You probably heard her commercial on the Final Call Radio. She is known as the maven of real estate, Sister Karima Muhammad, real estate broker, realtor there in Atlanta area and in Tennessee. And she's all over the place. She's a real estate investor, but she's going to come on and we're going to have a conversation like a talk show. We're going to have a conversation around the topic of building wealth through home ownership. Because there's a lot of information out there. I mean, there's not a shortage of information, brothers and sisters. All information can't be good information. All information can't be applicable to you in your situation. That's one of the things I learned as a financial advisor, stockbroker, for two major Wall Street firms is that you have to customize a financial plan for that individual person. You have to know more than just what their aspirations are financially. You have to know more than what's their target number that they're trying to hit. So it is with information. All information is not good for everybody. And all information is not good for somebody. All information is only good for those individuals that fit that particular situation. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about. And I say that because I'm a student, an avid student. I've been a student since 1980 when it comes to money, building wealth, getting rich, real estate investing, network marketing, sales and marketing, entrepreneurship, you name it. Anything that has to do with this financial freedom goal, if you will, because it's about financial freedom. See, that's the term I learned back in 1980. It wasn't all this getting the bag and holding up money to your ear. Of course, we didn't have social media, but it was about getting rich. But the term often used was financial freedom. You don't even hear freedom spoken together or used together with financial. We've gotten away from that and just deal with the financial. And you can see now in society, people sell their soul for financial because we've taken away the freedom part from it. So now it's just the pursuit of finances. It's the pursuit of money, getting a bag, ambiance. Okay. So we're going to talk about building wealth through home ownership. Why? Because, like I said, I'm a student, right? One of my teachers that I learned from and admire, has a lot of good information, is Grant Cardone. Right? Just because you like somebody, you are a student of someone, you're studying underneath them, don't mean you believe everything they say hook, line, and sinker. That don't mean you're cynical either and doubt everything they say because I just can't. No. You have to know how to sift through information. You have to know, we have to learn how to take information and say, okay, when do you use a Phillips screwdriver? When do you use a flat nose? When do you use a wrench? Right? When do they apply? When do those tools apply? Which situation do those tools apply to? That philosophy, that concept, that investment objective. Right? So Grant says, don't buy a home. It's a waste of money. But society is told your number one wealth builder is home ownership. That's the way you build wealth in America. See, so we have to have the requisite knowledge, right? As I talk about in my book, the requisite knowledge to be able to sift through it and say, okay, that's the right statement, Grant, from this perspective, right? But it's not a right statement from this perspective. Okay, the number one way to build wealth in America is home ownership. That's correct from this perspective, but it may not be correct from that perspective. So you and I have to know what perspective is our perspective. You can only see things from your vision. So for my situation, as a Black person in America, with the wealth gap being like it is, or having, looking at the environment that we're in and how we grew up and what resources we have available for financial advancement, right? So it applies to somebody who has resources, financial resources, connections, a network, right? They can make some statements that are absolute and applicable for them, but for someone who don't have those things, doesn't have the right network, don't have the financial resource, they can't take the position as the same position as someone who does. Right? So this is what we have to understand. This is what we're going to talk about on this show next week with our dear sister Karima Muhammad. Building wealth through home ownership, ? Do I have a question mark on there? Let's see. I should. Let's. All right. Should have a question mark on there. So, question mark. So you come by, check out the show, brothers and sisters. Make time. I chose Sunday night because I learned many, many, many years ago, right? Sunday is the best day and evening to talk about entrepreneurship, to talk about extra income, to talk about financial prosperity. Why? Because people are dreading to go to a job that they don't like. They're dreading to start that week all over again, that cycle all over again, that rat race all over again, just to come back to get 2 days off that they wonder what happened to it. Right now it's Sunday. It's like, man, what happened to? Well, today's Saturday. Why? What happened to Sunday? What happened to the weekend? So come back next Sunday, the 26th, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, Closing the Gap Broadcast Network on YouTube. Go there now, subscribe and hit the notification button. And every time they have a show, you'll be notified. And then you'll be notified again next week about the show. All right. But you want to come back so we can talk about building wealth through home ownership. Should you, shouldn't you? And you can think about it and get both sides of the story so you can understand what's the best decision for you. All right, brothers and sisters. And those that's on the list, on my email list, by going to the Money Game, as you see at the bottom, themoneygamebook.com. You go there, you get on my list, and you get notification of everything I'm doing. Excuse me, and you'll be reminded of this show next week. All right, so that's the preview, that's the trailer, if you will, for next week with Sister Karima Muhammad, broker, realtor of the Maven Real Estate Group in Atlanta and also in Tennessee. And I mean, the sister has been doing it for years. She's very knowledgeable, very powerful, and she's one of our sisters in the Nation of Islam, so you don't want to miss it. All right? It's so good. I'm all choked up. I see you at the top, not from the top, because you, your family, and most importantly, our Black community deserves your very best. Take care. Let me take a sip. We choked up over here.